Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking up human ultracell. This is from the BioCell line. This is actually one of our rejuvenative therapies that we have in our office here. And I wanted to kind of cover this one, specifically what it does. And I might do a more in-depth video at some point in the future on all the different aspects of it and show you how it works and things of that nature. But today I'm just going to kind of cover a little bit of information about it so you know what it is and what we actually use it for. So we've tested many patients on this and I've gotten very good results. This is again a rejuvenative product, means regenerative product. So this is one of the anti-aging products that we actually have. And I'll just give you the list of some of the things it does, and these are the indications. So it helps with regeneration, revitalization and cell renewal for strengthening the immune system, adjuvant action for degenerative disease of the immune system, and just so you know, adjuvant means something that's actually helpful. Premature aging, decrease in mental and physical facilities, tiredness, physical asthenia, which is that weakness or tiredness that you would get as you get older, that like your body's not developing as well as it once had. Prevention of degenerative diseases, increase in general energy levels. It revitalizes body functions. It increases the resistance to stress. And how many of you are under stress? This is a good product for that. It increases performance and organic function that can weaken with aging. It notably improves physical performance. It improves blood pressure. So this, again, this is not necessarily a product just for elderly people, or this is really a good product for some of our advanced athletes that we have. I've given it to athletes, and they've done very well with this particular product, and they've noticed changes in the gym, changes in their activity that they do. It restores concentration and memory. Who doesn't need that? It improves the quality of sleep. So this is also one of those things, as you get older, you have a little bit more trouble sleeping. Not in this day, not even older. I have a lot of younger patients who have trouble sleeping. This is actually a great product to help with that. It prevents osteoporosis, which is that degenerative disease of the bones where you actually have a thinning of the bones. So it helps prevent that. It stimulates and controls libido in men and women. So it helps in that area. It strengthens the venous system. So that's your vascular system, your heart, arteries. Speeds up recovery from injury. And I can tell you a quick story on that one, which I thought was really fascinating. But it happened to me, and it also happened to one of my other patients. We both had cuts in our hands, and something that normally would take, week, 10 days to fully heal up was healed up in 3 days. It was pretty amazing, actually. It stimulates endogenous production of growth hormone that maintains muscle mass. So there you go for your gym guys, your weightlifters and athletes. It really does help that. And it prevents senescence and supports the youth of the patients. And senescence is, making sure I'm pronouncing that right. It's basically that feeling of aging where you start to kind of, you just feel older. And then it obviously supports the youth of the patient. So that's basically what this one does, and gives you an idea of that. And I think I'm not sure if I want to go over anything else on this, but there's also a video. I'll put a link to that video from the company itself that goes over exactly how this particular product works and what it does. And it is definitely something that I honestly feel everyone should be on at some point in their lifetime. This isn't, it's particularly, as you're getting a little bit older, you're not feeling your body's reacting the way it once did when you're a little bit younger. This isn't necessarily for kids or young adults, obviously, but I have given it to some young adults, and they have responded very well. They've actually responded better than some of the older patients, but it really does help to regenerate the tissues of the body. It gives you a feeling of youth back, and it's pretty stable. This isn't a product that a person would necessarily have to do monthly. This isn't a vitamin regime. This is a regenerative regime. So this one particularly works really, really well, for bringing back the youth of the patient so that they actually feel younger, they sleep better, their recovery time is much, much faster. I had a 61-year-old athlete, and he worked out very regularly for a very long period of time, most of his life. Runs, skates, weightlifts, does pretty much everything, and he's in his 60s. And his body just wasn't healing the way it once had. And he was actually one of the first people we beta tested this on to find out, okay, well, what response are you going to get from this? And he told me within the first 3 or 4 days of actually being on this product that he was sleeping better. He was waking up in the morning recovered, meaning like he had worked out the night before, and normally it would take him a day or two to fully recover from the workout. He recovered by the next morning. I personally noticed the same thing on my workouts. I noticed that my body was responding faster and recovering faster, and I'm in my mid-50s. He's in his 60s. I've had patients in their 40s, very similar response to this. I've even had one person who tried it, and again, these are very specific things that have happened. I'm not going to say this is going to happen on everyone, but I had one specific person who tried it. He was a college student and was really having a hard time with his memory, and I mentioned it to his father. We had talked about it, and again, this is during the beta testing when we were testing this about 4 years ago. And I said, well, it improves memory, so who knows? Let's see what would happen with a college student. So he took it, and he aced all his tests afterwards. And he was having a lot of trouble in a number of subjects in college, and he aced all his tests. So I don't know. That's pretty impressive. And again, that's a younger person. So that's what this is for. I've given it to, most of the patients we usually put this on are usually in their late 30s, early 40s on up. And I've given it to people in their 90s. We had another patient who had mentioned that his mom was having trouble with being able to basically her memory issues, running into Alzheimer's, things like that. And he had given it to her, and within about 2 weeks after completing the program, this is a 30-day program, after completing the program, he noted that she was actually just speaking more normally. Her memory was better. She knew who he was. So that's pretty impressive as well. And I can't say this is going to work on everyone. These are just, again, some of the guys that, these are some of the successes we've had when we were beta testing this particular product on some of the patients. It has a lot of different things it actually helps with. It also helps with certain medications. If a person's on different things like things for hypoglycemia or diuretics or statins or coronary vasodilators, venous insufficiency, Alzheimer's, chemotherapy, antidepressants, osteoporosis. Let's see what else we got here. Renal impairment, erectile dysfunction, even helps in antibiotics. And there's a list more that you can find on the website. And I'm going to put the website in the description below so you can actually find, if you're on these certain medications, this particular product actually helps them produce a more desired effect or a better effect. So this isn't just, it's a really good natural product, but it can help in a lot of other ways. So I just want to let you guys know about this one specifically. This is, like I said, some of the successes we've had on this have just been phenomenal. Yeah, and I'll give you one more I just thought of. Had a very good friend of mine who has macular degeneration, so he's losing his eyesight. And if you look at it, if you were to take your hands and put your hands in front of your face and, just put your thumb and your index finger together, and that's about, and put that out. That's about the distance or amount he could actually see. Plus, it was dark, so he was losing his vision. And he's done several runs of this. He's been on it really since 2016 when we first started working with this product, and progressively improving. And he tells me that every month I talk to him about it, and it continues to work. It continues to improve. And so now his vision is, if you take your hands apart, maybe about a foot, and that's about the distance or the amount he can see around him. And on top of that, it's much brighter. He says he doesn't have to, turn lights on in his house when he gets home now. At night he can actually see. So that's pretty impressive as well. And so these are some of the things that we've seen with this particular thing. And again, I can never guarantee any of this for any particular person, but this is what it does. And then for me personally, I'll give you my own success with this. I started this in 2016. I had a severe back injury back in 2010. I had to have, I've actually had a lot of work done to try to resolve that particular problem. And it was getting to a point where I wasn't going to be practicing anymore. I couldn't really adjust patients with any force or, any strength. And that went on for, 4 or 5 years, 6 years. And I actually had gone down to Mexico because this wasn't released in the United States yet, and did a different product than this, which I'll go over at some point. It was something to help regenerate bones and regenerate nervous tissue, and I had injections of that. This is actually an oral form, but I actually had injections in Mexico, came back, noticed a change within, took about 6 months, I think, to really start to see a change where I actually started feeling a little bit better. And then they released this particular product in 2016 into the United States so that we can actually do this. And just so when I did that, I took him an Ultracell. I continue to take the ones for the bone and nerve and also muscle tissue to really try to get my back to heal. And progressively, month after month, I improved. I'm now practicing fully. I actually now work out again, which I had stopped working out in 2010, and I started again really around 18 is when I started to actually work out, start weightlifting, start, getting back into my normal activities. And I couldn't do any of that before. So this progressively works. It's not necessarily always an instantaneous change with this, because these are, this particular product continues to work and work and work and work and work, meaning you take it and it'll continue to function or continue to help the cells regenerate for up to 6 months. So this is, it's not something that's done all the time. It's just to help a person regenerate their tissues, regenerate their body, help them feel younger, help them feel more revitalized. That's what this one particularly does. So I wanted to at least let you know some of the successes with this. It's honestly my favorite product, only because of what it's done for me personally. There was a point also in 2016 before I started taking this, I was really feeling, I'm not going to use the word depressed, but kind of down, like just didn't have the energy, just didn't have the up and go. I wasn't feeling right. I was like, this just, that whole thing you get when you're in your 50s or late 40s, it's like, God, I'm just wearing out. I'm not recovering as fast as I used to. It's just not me. And within 3 or 4 days of taking this particular product, I noticed a change. And again, I'm not going to say this is going to happen for everybody, but I noticed a change, and it really felt like I was youthful again. Felt like I had some future there. I felt like I can continue on. It's pretty amazing. It's actually a pretty amazing product. So if you guys want more information, like I said, just go to the website. They'll have a ton of stuff there. And I'm going to do probably a more in-depth video on what the actual product is, what's actually in it, why it works the way it does, and then I'll probably go through a list of frequently asked questions and things like that. It'll be a much longer video, probably be about a half hour, 45-minute video to do all that information. But this is just to give you an idea of what this does, and I really hope you take advantage of it. And if you have any questions, you're always welcome to give us a call. Phone number here is 716-754-9039. You can also comment in the comment section. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. And always remember, a well-nourished body is a happy body.